Alrighty, here we are. Heavy Groove list. Another list with my mate Jon from Austin, Texas, who we just met. We just met online right now, really.
Literally.
That's what I love about this thing, man. Like, you can just hook up with, anyone from around the world at the drop of a hat and talk about stuff we've both loved for years. So I really like that.
Yeah, me too, man. I watched yours and Peter's interview last night. It was super fun to watch, man. How'd you meet him?
Same way. I just came across him on Instagram and his profile and loved his shredding. He's a really cool guitarist, as you are, man. I've seen some of your stuff as well. Both of you guys are awesome players. And yeah, I just asked him, I thought, I don't know, I kind of get the vibe for people who got the passion for it. And I just ask, and most of the time, everyone's like, yeah, man, let's chat and I'll be happy to talk about it. So.
Heck yeah, man. No, love what you're doing. And yeah, Peter, I haven't known him long, but we met through the Ola England riff stuff he was talking about. So yeah, I met him just a couple months ago, but yeah, Peter's an absolute monster and amazing guitar player.
Yeah, Ola is put one hell of a network together of metal fans and heavy groove fans and any genre of metal fans. He's brought a whole bunch of people together, that's for sure.
Yep, and like you said, all around the world. So you're in Australia, right?
Australia, yeah, man, in the northern eastern part, Queensland. This is where I am.
Cool, man. Yeah. I never been out there, but I've heard amazing things.
I haven't been to the States either, but maybe one day.
For sure.
To see what happens, how the world is going to cope with what's going on.
For sure.
Yeah. How's it out at Austin? Is it you guys are opened up again or?
Yeah, pretty much so. It's funny. I'm actually from California originally, which I know is where Peter said he was at. But I'm from about an hour from San Francisco, so Northern California. But yeah, I've been out in Austin about 9 years, and yeah, Texas in general. That we started opening up a couple months ago, and yeah, it's starting to feel pretty normal, to be honest with you.
Jon, the videos for the audio's dropped out a little.
Oh, hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better. It's come back.
Yes. Sorry, yeah, the last like 15 seconds kind of went.
Yeah. Sorry, you were saying you're from California?
Yep. Yeah, I'm from Northern California, about an hour from San Francisco. But moved out to Austin about 9 years ago. So it's Austin's a pretty cool place, man. Have you heard anything about it?
Not much. I do have a friend out there, but I don't really know much about Austin at all, to be honest.
Yeah, it's definitely it's different than the rest of Texas. I'll say that. But I guess we coin ourselves as the live music capital of the world, and just a lot of music history here. So it's a definitely cool, very inspiring place to be.
Yeah. I mean, I was like super impressed with some of your stuff, man. Like you guys have got all your stuff on YouTube, and you done quite like how many albums have you guys released?
Yeah, man, great question. We 2 technically, but we've done a lot of singles. So like 2020 for us, man. We've been a band called Trineatx for about 6 years. Met the drummer on Craigslist. But we all live in 3 different spots. So our singer lives about an hour and a half away. And so we've always done stuff remotely, like a lot of recording and stuff. So man, when COVID hit, we actually got more productive because we were already used to doing all that. So front half of last year we released I think 6 singles, and then we wrote and recorded a full album and released that in December. And those were all different songs. So we stayed busy, and we did about 4 or 5 music videos too. So it's been fun.
They're done pretty well, man. Did you just do it yourself with a one producer or something, or how did that come about?
So we're very lucky in that our drummer Deuce, he's a very skilled videographer, so he does a lot of our music videos. But we also have a good friend, another guy that does some of them too. So we get to kind of split the work between both of them. So that's how we're able to do so many in that amount of time. So we're very lucky with that.
Well, he's got the skills on the skins and then videoing as well. And he also got chosen to get the shit beat out of him on one of your clips.
Yes, that was a fun video to shoot.
For him, I don't know.
Hey, actually, on the way up to that shoot, man, funny story. I was supposed to be the one that got the shit beat out of me, but Deuce, the drummer, he's like, man, he's like, if you don't really mind, like, I'd love to do it. I'm like, fuck yeah, go for it.
Kind of
Be my
works.
guest.
Kind of works with the long hair and just dripping in blood. And that sort of thing.
Man, there was a lot of fake blood used in that for sure.
Yeah, cool, man, cool. So I've got to ask you, man, what's your background in metal and heavy groove and all that sort of thing? When did you start, getting into all of this stuff?
Yeah, man. Honestly, it's kind of been bred in me. I guess both my parents have always been into, rock. My dad's favorite band's AC/DC, so I knew that since I was born. They both love Van Halen. My mom loves Bon Jovi, so I kind of was raised in all that. I was born in '90, so I just missed all the '80s, but I'm obsessed with '80s music. So, so love all that stuff, man. And then, man, I think my first bands I remember being obsessed with was Korn when I was probably in no joke 4th or 5th grade. I had this brown Korn shirt I wore all the time. Used to crank their CD "Follow the Leader" in my grandma's cars of all places when they picked me up from school. Them, and then The Offspring. Actually, I was a really big fan of that band, and I still listen to them to this day. They're still going, I think. Yeah, dude, they are crazy, right? Big fan of them. But then it was I didn't pick up a guitar till about 13 or so. Me and two of my friends decided, hey, let's start a band. All of us were baseball players. We had no idea what we were doing. So we went to Guitar Center. 2 of us got guitars. 1 got a drum set. And then, we God bless our parents' hearts. We made a lot of really bad music, really bad loud sounds for a long time. But
well, similar to what happened to me too. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was fun though. That's for sure.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah. But I'd say Metallica was for sure my gateway into everything.
So many people. Yeah.
But yeah, it was Metallica, and quickly after that, Aussie. Like, I know you and Peter talked a lot about Dimebag. Zakk Wylde's my guy.
Zakk Wylde, yeah.
Actually, funny picture. I right here. I'm in my room, studio/office. I work from home now too. But can you see this?
Yeah, I can. Nice.
So that was got to meet Zach. That was the day before Ozfest in our town in California. But that was probably 04, 05, something like that.
Yeah.
We had just went to the city that day, just randomly, and we were walking along the pier, and we passed a guy looking like Zach in overalls. He was with his wife and a friend, both pretty big guys, and we got about 50 yards past him, and we all stopped in our tracks. We're like, holy shit, that was Zakk Wylde. So we ran back and called after him, and he was the sweetest guy, man. Have you ever met him?
I haven't, no.
Oh my God, he's so nice. He right away was like, oh, let's get a picture. And right away in that picture, he was flipping off the camera, and his wife goes, Zach, like, let's do one the kids can take to school. Nice. But he was great, man. He gave us all picks and like guitar picks.
Yeah.
And then we were on their way, and he goes, yeah, you guys coming to the show tomorrow? And of course we were, because I think at that time he was playing with Black Label and Aussie, both at Ozfest, which was freaking awesome. So, but yeah, awesome. Metallica and Aussie definitely got me into everything else, and then the floodgates were open to all metal.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's kind of fitting that Zach and Dime were like best mates too.
Right.
So it was pretty hard to watch him doing that tribute to him when he passed.
This river, dude, that's one song that could probably make me cry on like at any moment, anytime. The song's amazing.
Cool on, eh? Yeah. Wow, that's cool, man. So what year was that when you met Zach?
It had to be one of the first 2 years we went to Ozfest. So I think it was 2004 or 2005.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So that just happened with Dime, or just before or just after.
Yeah. So, honestly, totally. I want to say we probably met him. That was probably 05, but he was pretty much. Did you used to go to any of the Ozfests? Did they make it out to Australia?
I don't think they came this far. We had a bunch of other festivals, but I don't think the Ozfest came out here.
Oh, dude, it was. That was earlier in my concert going days, but still to this day, some of my favorites. Like everything would start around 12 o'clock, like lunchtime, and it would, all day would be out in the parking lot, right? And there'd be 2 like second stages out there, and that's where like I got to see Lamb of God for the first time.
Wow.
Let's see, I was a huge Shadows Fall fan. Let's see, did you ever listen to God Forbid?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh, they were a really cool band, kind of in that I think they called it like the new wave of American heavy metal around that time. But lumped in with Lamb of God and Shadows Fall, those bands, but got to see all of them at Ozfest. Trivium for the first time at Ozfest, but they would all play in the parking lot. And then around 5 o'clock, everyone would move indoors, and it's a big old amphitheater, right? And that's where, you would see Black Label. Then the bands would start to get a little bit bigger, like Machine Head usually would be in there. Then one year we saw Judas Priest, one year was Iron Maiden, and then Aussie or Black Sabbath was there every year. So
wow, yeah,
freaking, it was amazing. I
did see. Yeah, wow, mind blowing would have been.
Yeah.
I did see Sabbath when they toured about 5 years ago here, when they did the tour for the album 13.
How was that?
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was so cool.
Was that when they had
they had this young guy drumming for him? Yeah, not Brad, who was on from Rage, who was on the album. It was some other dude touring with him.
Interesting. Okay, I was thinking Brad.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. That guy. Yeah, so good, so good.
How did Oz sound?
He sounded great. Great. The whole band sounded awesome, man. Yeah, it sounded awesome. So apparently he's about to release something new as well, Aussie. So.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. I read something. I don't know how true. I think it was Loudwire is the source for
everything, right?
It's like
yeah.
It's like the CNN of metal, pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let's see what happens. But that's cool, man. So I guess Aussie or Zach is on your heavy groove list. Like he's definitely on there for you.
Yeah, dude. I like something you've been saying too, is that it doesn't necessarily have to be. Obviously, my mind goes towards the heavy, like the heaviest of grooves first. But dude, especially with Zach, have you heard his Pride and Glory stuff?
I haven't. No.
Oh, dude. So that was his. I think that was his first band like that he did away from Aussie in the '90s, I think. But very like Southern rocky. Yeah, it's really cool. He sings incredibly soulful, but there's some crazy grooves on there. Was my point. But yeah, obviously all the Black Label Society stuff is big fan of all that stuff. And when I think heavy groove, definitely think a lot of that stuff. But dude, I was gonna tell you. Have you ever heard of you know Miles Kennedy, singer of Alter Bridge?
Yeah.
Dude, he just released a solo record that's more kind of bluesy rock influence, but that's got some sick grooves. I listened to some of that this morning actually. And yeah, do you know how good of a guitar player that guy is?
Not really. I haven't really dived deep.
He is severely underrated. Yeah, there's like an old YouTube video of him playing. I think he won some like jazz fusion guitar contest when he was like 18 or 19.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, but anyways, he does some of the solos in Alter Bridge too. But anyways, his solo stuff is pretty crazy, but some cool grooves in there. And one other guy I for sure wanted to mention is this blues guy, Jared James Nichols. Have you heard of him?
Nope.
Oh man, dude, he is phenomenal. He's kind of breathing some new life into some blues, but definitely more of a rock blues player. But coolest thing about him, he doesn't use a pick. He plays with his fingers.
Ooh,
and it's like raw, like balls to the walls, like blues rock, kind of hard rocky blues. And he's toured with Skinner and some other bands like that. But dude, he's got some really cool grooves.
That's awesome, man. That's why I love about all this. You find out all sorts of cool shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But
awesome.
Yeah, just hearing you talk about some of the stuff that doesn't necessarily have to be the heavy, because I definitely got some heavy stuff too. But like, dude, some of those guys do, grooving in a different way for sure.
That's the whole thing. That's why I called it heavy groove and not groove metal, because it's too limiting. You know? There's so much. Like I grew up on rock before metal. Like I was into like Simple Minds, U2, all those bands.
Oh
when
yeah.
10, 11. And the thing that really blew my mind when I was a little kid was that live U2 video, Rattle and Hum.
Oh yeah.
They got a whole bunch of live stuff on there, and some of the those live tracks, just the grooves on there are just phenomenal. Like it's actually it's got a real sort of dark heaviness to it. Especially songs like Bullet the Blue Sky and Silver and Gold and stuff like that. Like really cool grooves. Like Adam Clayton is like, and one of the coolest bass players around, I reckon. He's like some bass player. And
sure. Dan, you're a drummer, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So our band, I I'll tell you our story a little bit.
Yeah, please.
We started in '97 and we were playing the Queensland scene for a few years. Then we were young, early 20s, and life took us all in different directions.
Sure.
Did our thing. Now we're coming back. We never ever got to release our album that we wanted to, so we're doing it now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we're pumped. We're stoked about it. So we're all pre-production now, doing demos, all sorts of things, and then hopefully by end of the year or early next year it'll be ready. And yeah, man, super cool. Yeah.
No, that's going to be my first question: is when's it going to be out? And do you guys have any samples of anything out there yet?
Well, there's a few snippets here and there on our Instagram page, on the Deliverance Jam Instagram. That's about it, really. We haven't put too much out there. There'll be little snippets here and there, but we don't want to give too much away till stuff's kind of ready to go. Yeah.
For sure. I can't wait to hear it, because I saw in your video too that some of your favorite grooves are in there, so I'm ready for that.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Definitely, yeah. It's just when you get in the pocket with the band, and it's just cranking and bumping away. It's just awesome, man. So so anything else to chuck on stuff that's always on the playlist that you listen to all the time?
Yeah, man, I have to mention, once I kind of got into Metallica, then all the kind of American metal stuff, the floodgates were open for me into all like the European metal. And to this day, I'm a huge, for some reason, most of my favorite music is from Sweden. Some band like Arch Enemy is one of my favorite bands. Just honestly, when you listen to music, Dan, what catches you first, melody or lyrics?
Definitely melody before lyrics.
Me too. And I find different people have different answers to that. Maybe some non-musicians, or maybe some musicians who just hear lyrics first, but I've always been a melody guy first too. But melodies for a lot of these Swedish bands, just something about it, man. There's something in the air out in Sweden, I guess. But I'm a big Arch Enemies, In Flames, Evergrey, if you've heard them, love those bands. And moving to Finland, I was a big Children of Bodom fan, or still am.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But all those bands influenced me a ton. But yeah, it's funny, since you asked when we were talking last night, I've just been thinking about all these bands, and kind of I feel like the interpretation of groove can be so different, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Of course, automatically I thought of Down and the groove, the true groove metal bands first, right? But I just thought about it. I was like, man, in Arch Enemy, there's so many cool grooves in bridge, random breakdown riffs, and just certain interesting parts. You know what I mean? So, Meshuggah. You ever listen to Meshuggah?
Oh yeah, pretty.
Yeah, great. I can't wrap my head around most of the timing and everything, but goddamn, they're such a cool band.
yeah, for sure, man. But that's the best thing about groove, so to speak, is anyone can take the reins in a song. Sometimes it's the drummer or the guitarist, even the vocalist, and then they play off each other, and that's the cool thing, and it just back and forward. It's even in my background, I'm part Fiji Indian from there's a Pacific island called Fiji, and half the population. Half the population is Indian from India, and the other half is native islanders from the Pacific. That's because the British brought the Indians out there to work in the sugarcane, back in the days. That's our Indians ended up there. So basically, that's my background is that, and I'm part Dutch as well. So,
wow.
So a bit of a mixed bag there. So
a cool combo, man.
I don't come too often, and once in a blue moon. But so basically, a bit of Indian music in my background. So I played a bit of Indian percussion, tabla, and all that sort of thing. And a lot of when the classical music side of things from the East there's a lot of amazing grooves and time signatures and playing off each other. Like the instruments speak to each other. One does this, the other one does it. It's when they do it in modern music and modern rock as well. But especially in that old classical genre, so many cool grooves and great compositions and talk back between the instruments. So it's such an ancient thing that I think people just come together over is cool music, you know.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, no, that's so awesome. I guess we got to talk about Gojira too at some point. I forgot.
Oh yeah.
Man,
How do you like the new one?
I absolutely love it. I was gonna say Amazonia, when that song,
Yeah.
you know, that song came out before the whole album. I
Yeah.
still can't stop listening to it. Like that, like the groove of that entire song, especially from the intro. It just, I've probably listened to that song this year, man, more than any other song. No joke. Like,
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah. How do you feel about the new album?
I love it. Actually, I do like that song, but I think the first and second, I can't remember. I'm really bad with song names, especially new ones.
For sure.
But I think the first and second track are my favorites. Like, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What was the second one? Let me see.
If you can bring it up, I don't have it in front of me, but
I got it. Born for One Thing, and then, or wait, no, sorry. Yep, Born for One Thing, Amazonia, Another World.
Yeah. Oh, Another World. Yeah, I love that. Seen the clip, the animated clip? It's so cool.
Yep. So cool. Another one, Into the Storm. One.
Yeah. That's the other one.
Yeah, right at my buddy's obsessed with this part, but right at about a minute when the riff kicks in, I think it might be the verse riff, is so sick. And like, it's just, they're one of those bands that like you could hear a half a second clip and you know it's Gojira. Like, there's not that many bands like that today. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Have their very distinct sound and
yeah,
and all that sort of thing. Another really cool brother combo there.
Yep.
Yeah. I think maybe it's something about that just so many years of playing together and all. So
there's got to be that man. Isn't his Marco? That drummer is so good.
Yeah. Is it Marco or Mario? Mario.
Oh, it's Mario. Mario, you're right, Mario.
Yeah.
Actually, I think on Instagram he posted just a little while ago some drum solo today. Check that out if you haven't seen it yet. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, the other dude that's totally sick is the newer guy in Sepultura. Or he's not new anymore. He's been there for so many years.
Oh, yeah.
Eloy, he's crazy,
oh my
man.
Gosh.
I don't think I've seen anyone hit the drums harder than him. He smashes them.
Same. Yeah, that's insane. Oh, yeah, he's so good. Where's he from?
I loved Igor, but this dude seems to be on one level, like cranked up even more than him. So.
Yep. Yeah, Dan, do you know where he's from?
I'm pretty sure he's Brazil.
Okay,
as well.
that's what I thought too.
Yeah. I mean, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure he's Brazilian.
Yeah. No, he's sick, and you made me think of somebody else that I am a Slipknot fan, but I feel like the current guy, Jay, he is so talking about hitting hard too. That dude is so good.
Yeah, for sure. This is
I love watching his feet.
Yeah.
You know?
Can't see him sometimes.
Yeah. Who you been listening to recently?
Before I got on the call with you, I was listening to the Sexorcisto, White Zombie. It's one of my.
Oh, nice. Oh, dude, they're so good.
On the top of my list there, man. I was in love with that band when I was when they released that album. Because I was what was I? I was 16, 17 or something. And I was just, I went a bit White Zombie obsessed and collected everything and had so many bloody collectibles and merch.
Yeah, nice.
My whole wall, I had a poster. Like sometimes, you know how record stores, when they do promos, they get these exclusive, massive billboard-sized posters, and so I managed to grab one back in the day, and it covered my whole wall in my room. So that was like my prized possession. All my stuff's gone now. This is like years and years ago. I still got a little bit, but yeah.
Did you ever see White Zombie in concert?
Yeah, I saw him in '95. The only time they came to Australia. Just after they released Astro Creep, which to me, I love the album, but can't compare to Left Exo. Like, there's something about that album that there's not one bad note or moment on it. Like, it's just all, and with the chop up of all the samples, it just fits so cool, So.
Oh yeah, no man, I think I remember hearing Thunderkiss 65 for the first time think it was in some random like dirt bike compilation video, like on VHS. Yeah. Yeah. Just hearing that riff and so sick.
Yeah, that's just a killer combination. And then when the drummer left and they got other dudes in, it just didn't seem the same anymore. But it was still, I got to say, I still like that other drummer, John Tempesta, who played he played in a whole bunch of bands like Testament and
that's
I think he's in I think he's in the Cult now, or was in the Cult. Like he's done a lot of stuff. But nah, he's cool. But yeah, I guess every band has their classic albums that they'll just never repeat in terms of glory or whatever. So that's theirs definitely in the Sex Sister. So.
For sure, man. What other albums are up there for you? Like, what are some top 3, top 5, or honorable mentions just in general?
Vulgar from Pantera.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't go past that. That blew my mind when I first heard it. Yeah, that one. Yeah, Los Exorcisto. Arise from Sepultura. I always come back to.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just ferocious, that whole album. And I can't believe that they were like 19, 18, 19, 20 or something when they wrote that. Crazy,
blows your mind,
Yeah, well, same with early Metallica, like how young they were when they wrote some of those songs. Like,
same thing, like 18, 19, 20, right? For Kill 'Em All, probably.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Just you can't fathom it. I mean, that's all.
Yeah.
I think there's something about the world back then.
Yeah.
That was the only focus. Like now, people are so divided with so much shit, because of also the internet. It just pulls you in 50 different directions as well, which obviously we let happen. It's not
for sure,
not forced upon us. But anyway, it was just things I think a lot more concentrated back then in that era, and it was just 100% into one thing,
Yeah.
And I think that's why so much cool music came out in those periods of time.
Totally.
Yeah.
God, so many good records. I was thinking about, how do you feel about Guns N' Roses and Slash just in general? Because a lot of his solo music I thought about has a lot of really cool grooves and stuff.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. My transition from rock like U2, Simple Minds, all that stuff, in between getting into Metallica was Appetite for Destruction.
Appetite. I was going to say, yep.
Probably in my CD player for 1 year straight.
Yes.
And Hysteria by Def Leppard was in there.
Dude, I'm a huge Def Leppard fan. Hysteria, that album is phenomenal, top to bottom.
My guitarist Mick, he totally loves that. He's in love with that stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, he's a big 80s metal guy as well. He loves all crew stuff.
Nice.
And all that sort of thing. So Wasp, he's a massive Wasp fan.
Oh, dude, Wasp is sick. Wasp is awesome. Well, send him my best, because dude, actually,
he's I haven't actually even done a freaking conversation with him yet, because we just haven't got around to it. But it'll
get there.
Come up, in a couple of weeks. It'll be up on the channel, so you'll be able to see what he says about his stuff as well.
Dude, that makes me think. Right before COVID happened, I went on the Monsters of Rock cruise. So last February. Have you heard about that? I mean, it's just a big rock cruise.
Heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, ironically, my shirt for it's right here. But dude, there was like 40 bands for 5 days on a huge boat. Like I'd never been on a cruise, and I think the capacity of this boat was like 7,000 people or something. Like it's huge. And on this boat, Dan, there's 4 different venues. Literally, like there's like a theater, there's a really cool big stage on the top of the boat, and there's like 2 other ones that are totally different. So you have bands playing like pretty much all day, every day.
Wow.
But yeah, dude, some of the bands that were on there, some of the bigger ones were, let's see, Tesla, Slaughter, Winger. Yeah, it was all mostly like 80s stuff, Firehouse, and let's see, a bunch of other ones. Do you know the band Symphony X?
I've heard of them, but I've never heard this stuff.
Their singer's name's Russell Allen, phenomenal singer. Definitely check him out. But he was on there, but tons of other guys. I actually went for a lot of newer bands. There's some like newer bands that kind of sound like 80s bands. Ironically, a lot of them are from Sweden, but there's one called Heat and another one called Hardcore Superstar that I'm a huge fan of. But it was just a blast, man. But it was like one of the biggest like concert experiences of my life, and then COVID happened, so I was thankful to get that right
Just
before.
yeah.
Yeah, but
well,
it was great.
That's a blast. How many days was it? Did you say?
5.
Jeez.
Yeah, and what was cool, man, is like you get to meet most people. You know, you're walking around. Actually, I forgot Rick Allen from Def Leppard. He was he didn't play. He had some like art exhibit on the boat, but he was there. Like,
okay, cool.
But Extreme was on there. So Nuno Betancourt was walking around.
Yeah.
But again, if you want
he used to be married to one of my favorite singers, Susie DiMarchi from Baby Animals, an Australian rock band.
Oh, he did. I didn't know that.
Heard of them?
No. What is it?
Baby Animals.
Okay, I'll check them out.
Yeah, check out their 2 albums. Super cool, man. Like some of the best Australian rock that ever got released. You know. Yeah,
awesome.
Really.
I definitely will. But Nuno was married to someone from that band.
Yeah, back in the day, the lead singer of Baby Animals, he was married to her, and
gotcha.
I don't know. That was in the 90s or something. But just reminded me of them when you mentioned Nuno. Yeah. They were cool. They were cool. Extreme had some cool stuff.
Dude, they did have some cool stuff. Yeah. I always forget that Gary Cerrone, their singer, sang for Van Halen. Remember that for a short time?
Did he really? Oh, I didn't know.
Dude, no, I forget which album it is, but he was on one album. Obviously, it's one that Van Halen fans don't talk about as much. But
was that in between David Lee Roth and Sammy? Or?
It was. I think it was after Sam. It was definitely after Sammy.
After. All right.
One of those weird times in the probably 90s or something. But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I to this day I'm a huge Van Halen fan, but I'm definitely a big Sammy Hagar fan. Like out of the stuff, like 5150 is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah.
So much good stuff, man. And obviously Eddie was Eddie, right?
Yeah, man. Another brother combo where.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but what was I going to say? I guess I should also mention COC because I didn't mention it in my videos, but I'm a massive COC fan. From anything from Blind up to probably American Volume Dealer, anything in those albums are just killer, man. Awesome.
Dude, live too. I saw them open for Black Label Society probably 2 years ago here in Austin. They were so good.
Yeah.
Pepper sounded fantastic. Dude, I love. I know this is not what they're like known for, you know, as far as their heavier stuff, but "Stare Too Long," I absolutely love that song.
Oh, you know,
it's just such a good song.
Yeah. They're mellow. There's some southern vibe about their mellow stuff. It's so cool.
Yeah, totally, man.
It's still badass, but it's like super mellow.
Yep, yeah. But they can get away with that and still make it badass. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's not like COC's doing a ballad. You know, it's not like that. Dude, have you heard? Again, being a huge Metallica fan, I love Garage Inc. You know their covers album.
Yeah.
Did you know Pepper's on their Tuesday's Gone, the Skinner cover on that album?
I didn't know.
Yeah. Dude, check it. It's a pretty long. It's like a 7 or 8 minute version of that song, and Pepper sings. He sings a verse in that, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I've heard all of that. That was the second. That's the second garaging thing. I don't think I've even heard all of it. I've heard some of it.
It's a 2-disc thing. There's a lot of songs in there.
Yeah.
But the Tuesday's Gone. It's just acoustic. It's stripped down. It's got you heard the name John Popper? He's a harmonica player, I believe, but from I think Blues Traveler. But he's on there. They have I think it's Gary Rosington, one of the guitar players from Skinner's on there, and Pepper.
Yeah.
So
together. Wow.
Yeah. Cool. So they were probably just all hanging out, having a good old time. But it's
nice.
Dude, something with a groove on that album. Their version of Saber Cadabra is like one of my favorites on that album.
Cool.
They do a cool Metallica twist on it for sure.
Nice. Yeah, it's still on my bucket list to see him. I haven't. I think they've been out here a couple of times, but I just never got around to seeing them. COC.
Oh really? Oh, man.
Yeah. Still something to do. Hopefully, it can still happen. We'll see what happens. But
Did I hear you say? I think I've heard this from a few others, but has Australia fared pretty well through COVID?
Pretty good. There's one southern state, Victoria, which has copped it the worst. They're still going through something now,
Got it.
like a second wave. Where I live, we've been really fortunate. Hardly anything.
Good.
Yeah, but our government's pretty cautious, which some people think is great. Some people don't. You know how it is. You always got both camps. It's all negative until you know someone or you get it yourself, and then it's like, oh well, they should be more cautious.
Yeah.
Same old story.
Yep.
But no, we've been pretty fortunate in this country. Being an island and in our own bubble, it's kind of helps the situation. Yeah. But yeah, we're lucky over here, man. So I can't see us opening up to the rest of the world for a while. I think the government wouldn't, be up for it. I mean, I think with New Zealand, because they're our neighbours, I think there's a bit of trouble happening. But yeah, rest of the world, I think it's going to take a while.
Yeah, for sure. Have you been able to go to live concerts and stuff, or?
I went to a tribute show the other day or last week. There was like a Metallica tribute with the Iron Maiden tribute support. Iron Maiden guys blew the Metallica guys out of the water.
Nice. That's awesome.
They should have been the headliners, not the Metallica guys. It was so cool. Yeah, they just did a phenomenal job.
That's awesome.
The Metallica guys played, because it's the anniversary of Master of Puppets. 35 years or something.
Something crazy, yeah.
And Black Album's 30 years, so they played both of those albums back to back.
Oh wow!
Yeah, these guys, they were okay, but no, the Maiden guys just stole the show for us. They just played a bunch of Maiden tunes, mixed bag of stuff.
Are you big Maiden fan?
I wouldn't say I was ever a huge Maiden fan, but I did really like a few of their tracks. I was never into the Euro stuff. I would say I was never huge into it. I was always more into that wave of new wave of British heavy metal. I was never massive into that. I mean, I got into stuff like Sabbath and later in the piece after I started getting into more 80s, sort of late 80s and early 90s bands. And then I got introduced more into the older stuff. So I guess my first love is more that late 80s, early 90s stuff, and then other stuff up. Yeah.
Nice, man. So much good music out there, man.
Well, besides, I mean, you guys are obviously doing your thing. What other newer kind of younger bands are out there that are really have captured any of your attention, sort of thing?
Yeah. Dude, great question. I'm honestly kind of always trying to find new bands. Actually, two bands that they were on my groove list when I was just thinking of which bands I want to talk about. There's a band called After the Burial.
Okay.
They are phenomenal. I've seen them live a couple times, but they're really, really heavy. Definitely a heavy metal band, but they got some crazy grooves, man. Like they use, I think, mostly 7-string guitars, but tuned pretty far down. But dude, they have some of the catchiest, grooviest riffs like in breakdowns I've ever heard. So After the Burial's one. There's another one called Bleed From Within.
Okay.
They're from Europe somewhere, but they're phenomenal. Just a super riff heavy band. And both those bands,
I think I've heard that name in passing somewhere. Yeah.
I'm sure, man. Both those bands have been around for a while, like probably 10 years or so. But I think both of them have gotten quite a bit bigger in the last few years. But yeah, huge fan of those bands. There's another one from Sweden called Amaranth.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard of them?
I've heard of them.
Okay,
I haven't heard stuff, but I've heard of them. Yeah.
Oh, dude, another just super melodic. I mean, they have some heavy stuff too, but super melodic. They have 3 singers. They have a female singer, a male singer, and a male screamer. So they got a lot going on. But all the musicians are super talented. But they've definitely become one of my favorites too. I'll
tell you who blows me away vocally is the woman from Ginger. She's She's crazy,
Oh
man.
yeah, dude. Yes. So versatile too, right?
Oh, she can sing like an angel and scream like a
Just
beast.
turn it right on. Yeah.
Flicks the switch, and then
Dude.
What the hell? You know,
Yeah. And yep. No, those vocalists, blow my mind just because they can do that, and then they do it right, so they can do it the next night. You know what I mean? And
that's right.
It's
an art form, man. There's a technique. Otherwise, you just blow your voice out, and that's it. You know. So
yeah, dude. No, Ginger's great, man. Where are they from? Are they like Russian or something? Not Russian.
I honestly don't know which country they're from.
Anyways, they're great, man. I definitely want to see them. Oh, dude, super random, but since we were talking about 80s metal, have you heard of James Durbin? Does that name ring a bell?
The name does, but
okay.
What band's he from, or was he a solo guy?
So all of the above. He kind of got known from American Idol about 10 years ago, because he was like the metal guy on American Idol about 10 years ago.
Right.
But like he on the show, he did a song with Zakk Wylde was on there one time, played with him. He did a song with Judas Priest one time. So he was like that guy. I think he finished top 10 or something. But anyways, I actually met him. We became friends because I went to school where he's from. And and you kind of fast forward to last year, we kind of reconnected on Instagram, and he had actually he sang in Quiet Riot for a couple years. Right before that, he had just left Quiet Riot. We started talking. He was working on a solo album, and it was going to be more like 80s metal. And so he wanted me to do some like just guitar solos for demos and stuff. So I did. I just kept doing them. He kept sending songs. I kept doing them because it was fun. I love the music, and I'll send you a link, but it's very like kind of Dio style. And
cool.
Yeah, and fast forward again, I thought I was doing all demo work, but the album was getting ready to be released, and we were talking, and he's like, "Oh no, man, like you're on the record," and I was like, "What?" So I got guitar solos on 6 of the songs on the record. So
nice.
And that came out in February, but it's cool, man. Like there's some other cool folks on there, like Chris Jericho, the wrestler.
Yeah, Chris Jericho. Yeah, I've listened to his podcast a few times. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So Jericho did vocals on a song with Durbin on that album too. Right. So he had some cool folks, but yeah, for me to like be on there was pretty badass. But the album itself is awesome. Like James, his vocals are really, really good, and the songs are great. So
send it to me. I'll check it out. Yeah.
And Dio's another one. I know we didn't touch Dio's. Actually, that's it. I got to see Heaven and Hell a couple times.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, I think twice, and man, it was just quite a treat to see Dio live.
Yeah, he's one hell of a charismatic front man, that guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, dude, any new bands? If you got anything else, I'm always looking for new bands. Again, there's so much out there.
So send us a bunch of links to the stuff you love, man, because like I've said, most of the stuff you've mentioned, I'm pretty ignorant about in terms of, especially the Swedish stuff and all that sort of thing. So I'll definitely check stuff out.
Oh, I just thought of two Australian bands I almost forgot about. They're more like pop punk, but they're both phenomenal. There's one called Stand Atlantic. Then there's another one called Yours Truly, and they're both female fronted, but they're both from Australia, and I've been listening to them a lot lately. They're very good.
I haven't seen those names pop up on the live scene here. They've been around long.
I think both have been around for a little bit. But again, they're definitely more like pop punkish, kind of like when I first heard them, they reminded me of kind of how Paramore used to be, if you know that band. Kind of along those lines, but man, both are freaking good.
Okay, sweet. Oh,
they're your neighbors apparently.
apparently. So much out there, man. So much out there.
Oh man. Yeah, honestly, are there any Australian like rock or metal bands that people should know about? I should know.
You've heard of King Parrot?
Yeah, actually, I haven't listened too much, but I've definitely heard the name.
Yeah, they're pretty nuts. They're pretty nuts, man. They can be pretty brutal, but
sweet.
Yeah, got some cool grooves in there as well when they break it down as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's one major one. Other than that, I'm a little bit of an old school freak, Like I have my ingredients lined up, I cook different meals, different tastes with them. But
I love that, man.
yeah. So I'm not, someone who's sort of goes out there kind of looking and exploring too much with more than the newer stuff. I kind of like to sort of bask in the stuff that I already love, and also, that's why I love talking to people who do things differently like you. You're always looking for new stuff. Stuff's always on your radar, and that's cool because then you get to share, what we love from back in the day and the new stuff that we love, and that's what it's all about. Finding out about some new stuff and how people appreciate their music is, I guess, in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say. So.
Absolutely, and for me too, I find so much new stuff in the old stuff that I don't even know about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just fun.
Yeah, it's like I guess that's where me and Peter, the last guest, were similar. We have our bag of stuff we love, and that's mainly what keeps us pumped, So
yeah, for sure, man.
Obviously, when it comes to new stuff, I mean, my band stuff is old because we had all those songs from back then, but the world hasn't heard them yet. So it's
all new to everybody else.
It's all new. So
oh man,
yeah, looking forward.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait to hear your stuff.
Yeah, man. I'll definitely send it over to you, and just if you haven't heard any of the just snippets, there's someone, like I said, some on the Instagram. Check it out.
Yep, you'll definitely check it out.
Cool. Hey, man, it was awesome meeting you, dude. Awesome.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you got a cool vibe, full positive, energetic. That's what I love about people who got that enthusiasm and passion for it, man.
Dude, it's all about the music, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, keep cranking, keep pumping out those cool songs and riffs and shreds and whatever else you post. It's really, really cool stuff, man.
Dude, will do, man. And dude, thanks again for asking me, and great to meet you. And obviously, we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. What I'll do is I can't do direct link on the stories on Instagram stories. Yeah. I'll just put your mention in there, and so try and get as many people to find this channel as we can, and keep it rolling. With people's lists, heavy groove lists, and their stories and their passion for the music, man. Yep,
like I told you yesterday, man. I think you're gonna grow this thing pretty quick. So.
Yeah, I really hope so. Man. Well, it could help if I get I can't say too much, but I might be talking to someone who was pretty huge in the 90s. Hopefully I can get that person.
Nice.
Have a chat and get some insight from them. So let's see what happens, man.
Fingers crossed, man. No, that's awesome. That's all exciting stuff.
Yeah, cool, man. All the best, man. Awesome to meet you, John. And yeah, man, we'll stay in touch for sure, man.
Yep. You too, Dan. Take care, brother.
All the best, man.
All right.